So we all know that the internet throws out some crazy ass theories that may or may not be true. Who knows? But today we're going to talk about 3 celebrities that may or may not be a serial killer. Now, number 1 is probably going to ruin your childhood, and I apologize for that in advance, but I'm not the one that started the rumor, so don't blame me. But it definitely had me having a Dear Diary moment and thinking back to my childhood, kind of cringing just a little bit. So number 1 is Garth Brooks. Now, this one's one that I've seen circulating quite a bit. I just heard about it though, like a couple of weeks ago, and it really did throw me for a loop. But after watching some videos, like I hate to sound gullible because I'm not a gullible person, but I was watching it going, I could kind of see that he's a little odd. So the theory is that he is a serial killer because in the cities that he had concerts in the 90s, in each of those cities, someone came up missing. Now, I understand that, big cities, people come up missing all the time, but it just happened to correlate with his tour schedule, with his tour locations. Also, apparently where he went to college, I forget what college it was, Oklahoma, I think, Tennessee, Texas, I don't know, something like that. Where he went to college, there were a string of disappearances that happened during the time that he attended that college. So just a little weird. Now, on the other side of it, just playing devil's advocate here, I mean, it's a fantastic alibi. Think about it. Oh, it wasn't me. I was on stage. And then you're out of there before any investigation even starts. So you go on stage, you do your thing, you go out. And in the 90s, the celebrity security was not as on high alert as it is today. But he could have easily gone out, committed the crime, went back, finished his show, and then he's out the next day going to the next city. So I kind of see how it could be possible, and it might make for a really good movie. They actually did do a movie kind of similar. I didn't watch it, but it was something about a murder or attempted murder or something at, God, who was in that one? At a concert. He was the dad, and he was at the concert with his daughter, and I can't remember the actor that played Josh Hartnett, I think. God, what was his name? If you know the movie, drop it in the comments. I can't remember, but it was something like that. So it would be interesting that really would make a really good movie, and it would be a good alibi, I guess. So whatever. Apparently Garth Brooks is a serial killer. So the second one is Marvin Gaye. So apparently Marvin Gaye was a serial killer before he became famous. And people were kind of sort of like looking into him, but not really thinking that he could have been a suspect in these disappearances and murder cases. And then when he became famous, they kind of dropped the entire thing. They're like, there's no way it could be him. He's famous now. He's a well-known singer. So that one I haven't really looked into too much because it sounds a little far-fetched that just because you became famous, you're getting off and not getting charged for crimes. That never happens. Not in the history of ever. So not really sure about that one, but if you want to look into it or if you've heard some things about it, I saw some Reddit posts about it. I also saw some YouTube videos about it that Marvin Gaye could be a serial killer, but he just was never pursued because then he became famous. So not really sure how that one works. So this next one, guys, oh my God, tugged at my heartstrings, kind of made me die a little bit on the inside. So it hurts to even say. Bob Ross. Now, if you don't know who Bob Ross is, Bob Ross, I think he had a show on PBS or something when I was growing up, and he did paintings. Now, if you just Google Bob Ross memes, you will recognize who he is, even if you don't know who he is. You'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy in memes. So he does paintings, and it's landscape usually. And, if he drops a blob of paint somewhere, he's like, oh, and now it's a bird. It's a happy mistake, and his voice was so soothing, and you just love to watch him and watch him do these paintings. And even though I never painted, I still enjoyed watching him paint. He was very good. He did trees and landscape. So that's what makes this so creepy, is because there is a theory out there that the paintings that he did weren't just random things that he was painting. He was actually painting the locations of where he dumped the bodies. it's very sinister when you think about that. Like if you ever watch one of his things, you're like, oh my God, under that tree, that happy little accident is where he buried somebody named Amber. That one's a little weird to me, and I hate thinking about that, but apparently it is a thing that people are talking about. I would really hate to think of Bob Ross as a serial killer, but I mean, if serial killers can turn into celebrities because they get their names out there, I guess celebrities could also turn into serial killers. So I would love to know what you guys think about that. If you've heard of any other celebrities that may or may not be serial killers. If you believe the Garth Brooks one, if you believe the Marvin Gaye one, if you believe the Bob Ross, no, not Bob Ross. Like, can't we just have one nice thing, please? But at least it wasn't Mr. Rogers. I'm okay with that. I think I'd prefer Bob Ross over Mr. Rogers being a serial killer. So, but I'd love to know what you guys think. If you've seen other things about it, if there's a link that you can post below, either debunking it or, having something that is like, yes, this is how this worked, and this person is in fact a serial killer. Because I know that Garth Brooks had Chris Gaines as a alias or something, so people were like, Garth Brooks wasn't the serial killer, Chris Gaines was, and it's like they're the same person. But it's possible. Who knows? Anything's possible in this world. Stranger things have happened. So I would love to know your thoughts on it. Let me know if you think any of these people actually are a serial killer or if it's all just bullshit.